Hey, it's the Rooster, Bobby Leach for the TimesWeekly.com. Stagg went into Friday night's contest against Bolingbrook as the newcomer to the Southwest Suburban Blue and facing one of the conference's best teams with the attitude of one play at a time. Well, that philosophy worked, at least for the first half of the game. The Stagg offense looked sharp on their first possession, but failed to score. On their next possession, they were stonewalled by a ferocious Raider defense that changed the field position into Bolingbrook's favor. The Raiders then took advantage. The Raiders finally slipped by in the first half, scoring only once and taking a 6-0 lead. But in the second half, it was all Bolingbrook, and they made their own luck. Using their stout defense and a solid special teams effort that featured a blocked punt, setting up a Raider score in the second half, Bolingbrook simply took control of the game midway through the third quarter, going up 27-0, never looking back. For Bolingbrook, they moved to 4-0 on the season. Next up for the Brook is a home game against the gritty Joliet West squad, while the 2-2 Stagg Warriors will travel to Lockport, who is seeking their first win of the season next Friday night. Both games start at 7 p.m.
Talk about that defensively, man. You guys really, your defense is what's leading the way this year for your football team. And, I mean, they played pretty tough with you guys. They hung with you in the first half. But defensively, I mean, they just couldn't get anything going off, for them offensively. I mean, you guys really were the offense for the team, especially the first 2.5, 3 quarters.
Yeah, I mean, as good as the score looked, I mean, we're not happy with that. We're not satisfied with that. We gave up a lot of yards in the first half, and we just have to keep getting better, and you got to keep improving.
Hey, these teams are really a tune-up too, because I mean, your last half of the schedule is pretty tough. I mean, you got some really tough competition those last 3 weeks of your schedule. Where do you guys think you are right now? I mean, it looks like the defense is a little ahead of the offense.
I mean, those three teams are great teams, and we're going to have to bring it, and we're going to have to play well, and we're going to have to know what we're doing. But I wouldn't call these games tune-ups. We're just trying to get better as the days go by, and get ready for those 3 games at the end of the year.
But the quarterback at Stagg, and man, that first half, actually the first 2.5 quarters of that game, you guys were in it, but offensively, their defense was really quick, especially on the outside. It seemed like you guys were getting some your best yardage on that option, 2-hole, 4-hole, just basically dives. But that really worked well for you. And you got some completions early on, too, that kind of had forced their defense to kind of back off you a little bit. That opened up that running game again. But in the second half, it just seemed like field position. They had a short field. You guys had some bad field position. You had to start at the 5 at one of your drives, and it started inside the 10 and another one. So, I mean, what do you take away from a game like this? I mean, knowing that you can run with it, with a top-level team that's cleaning up all the other stuff.
Well, at Stagg, we take pride in being tough, and I think we showed that we're a pretty tough football team.
Yeah.
On and off the field, we're a tough group. What you can take away from this is it's all downhill from here. We played East, we played Bolingbrook, now we got Lockport. There are no slouches, and let's get that W.
Yeah, I mean, Stagg has not been known for a winning program years past. But this year you guys start off 2-0, and it turns everybody's head. You're like, wow, you guys are in a new conference, and you come out 2-0. What team is this? So sports writers, I think, are waiting to see how you guys do against, the mid-level talent. I mean, the Lincoln Way East, the Bolingbrook's, they're always going to be a top-level school. But, I mean, where you guys are right now, you're still a playoff contender. Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys are 2-2.
Yeah. What was the question?
Honestly, where do you think you guys fall? I mean, playoffs are still a reality for you guys.
Well, we've been talking about it all year, and we know these next 3 games are really our playoff push, along with Sandberg, a possibly 4th win. We just got to get through these 3 games, and we want to make the playoffs more than you can imagine. People say we don't talk about it. We talk about it. We want the playoffs bad, and we're going to go out and try and get it.
Let's be honest here. I mean, you come in to this season, and they say it's the blue division. It's really the black and blue division. I mean, because you got some contender. I mean, you got Sandberg, you got HF, you got Bolingbrook, you got Lincoln Way East. I mean, it's not like it got any easier for you to jump into this conference. But then you guys open your season 2-0. East last week, I mean, they defensively, you guys looked pretty decent against East, but they made a short field of it. Bolingbrook, you guys looked fantastic, until midway through the third. But again, it was field position for them. A couple of punt situations for you. You give them a short field. Now you're down 13-0. and then they get that block punt, and the wheels of the train just kind of came off at the end there.
Yeah, I thought defensively we played really well.
Yeah.
Like you said, they put us in some bad field position areas, and we had some bad punts. But two of their touchdowns there, their first three, were gimmick plays. You know? So they had a gimmick to get. So that was encouraging. I told our kids, a team like that, ranked in the top 15 in the area, to use gimmick plays against a team that was 2-7 last year says a lot about where we're going and how much we've improved. So.
You had the ball, that first drive, you get a couple of first downs, you mixed it up well, you had, your quarterback completes a couple of pass plays, forces their safeties to play honest, maybe have their linebackers stay 4 yards off the ball, and then you're able to pound at them.
Right.
You guys got yourself in a position to score there, and then you just didn't get it in. Was that the play you wanted to run, on that 4th and short, or was it,
I think there was a misassignment there. We had an alignment issue. We had some problems all game getting guys lined up correctly. A defense like Bolingbrook really puts a lot of stress on you with their speed, their size, their linebackers are a load. So, we knew we would have a hard time moving the ball. If you look at their defense a whole as throughout the whole year, they really haven't given up any of that many points.
No.
So we had that one drive, we flipped the field. It gave us a little bit of momentum, but we just got stopped in that 3rd and short. The quarterback just didn't get low enough on that sneak, and then we were about that short of it. So,
but he gets in there, it could have been a different ball game, because that's momentum.
We had a nice drive going. We kept our offense off the field, gave our defense a chance to kind of recover. And we felt good when we were at in the first half. We just kind of, that block punt hurt us. You can't win football games with a block punt, and they got their momentum team. When they get it, they catch fire. And they caught fire. Disappointed. We had a chance. I thought the referees blew that call on that drop punt there. That was our ball.
Yeah, it was.
He dove in late, and he said they had dual, which is a bad call.
Yeah.
But then they just fake punt it. We stopped them. They fake punt it, which, whatever. But then we couldn't. We subbed in. We had our guys in. We had our second, third guys in the last quarter.
As you should. I mean, at that point of the game, you're saving your guys. I mean, they played a great game, but offensively, now you're going up against some teams. You got Lockport, you got the Joliet School still left on your schedule. You still got HF, which is another monster out there, and Sandburg. Right. But I mean, you still got a lot ahead of you. But next week, both Lockport's going to be looking for a win because they just haven't put one. They haven't put a W up in a long time.
Right.
Stretching back to last year, they've been struggling. How important is it, for your playoff hopes? I mean, right now 2-2. You got to get 5. Your playoff points are going to be there just by the teams that you're playing in your conference. You would think, anyhow, that playoff points are going to be there. So getting 5 wins is that, really is that the goal right now? Is that let's get into the postseason?
We've improved. I thought we improved. We played Lincoln East tough.
Yeah.
We just don't have the playmakers, and those defenses they're the top in the state. You got East, they're a defensive team. Bolingbrook's a defensive team. We knew we would have problems scoring points, but I think we got better. The score doesn't really tell you the truth.
No.
It kind of lies, but I thought we took the right step towards the team. Our kids played hard. There was effort. So, I think it's week 3 where we at. The third conference game is it's an important game for us.
I have a little Bolingbrook Raiders. Hey, Coach, you got to give it to Stagg. I mean, they played really fundamentally good football in that first half.
It's the same Stagg team that we used to play. I don't know if people know this, but I think they beat us 3 out of the 4 times we played them before this meeting tonight. So, and it's just like I remember them. Big physical kids. They spend time in the weight room, and I know with Coach Fahey in charge now, he'll keep that up and I actually get a little bit more back into the weight room. So,
their defense really did keep them in that game. Field position really went your way. The first, in the first half, you got that short field. Starting the second half, short field, and then once you guys got rolling, it just you guys were rolling. They kind of put their head down a little bit there in the fourth quarter when they realized it just kind of got away from them.
Right. Well, we got a nice inside game, but we wanted to get some perimeter game going too because of matchups, and they were going to take that away. So it was just a chess game of when we could hit them inside or outside. But then finally found something to get the ball in the perimeter, and it worked.
At halftime, renowned for your first halves, unless you're really rolling. But I mean, you guys were able to change on the fly. What did you do differently at halftime to come out and address that? Because it seemed defensively like they were stopping you guys.
Well, once again, it's a chess game, and we don't change much about our schemes. Just our play selection. We've got an under center package. We've got a shotgun package. We got a trap and counter scheme, and we've got our veer scheme. So that's all it is finding the right mix. Okay, can we run the option out of the gun? How do we get it on the perimeter? How do we get it between the tackles? It's just mixing and matching. It's actually a hybrid of a couple plays that we threw out there today. And then just being a little bit creative in the shotgun, giving some people to think about down the road.
You got to be happy with Jaden Huff's performance so far to this point of the season. I mean, he's really, he's really coming on. Yeah,
real good kid, great football player, and just been nothing but a leader for us, and that's what we expect of him.
It's like a little Barry Sanders, though. He's kind of tough to take down. Low center of gravity, and he's tough. You got to hit him.
That won't be denied. That's for sure.